世界那么大，问题那么多，国际社会期待听到中国声音，看到中国方案。我真诚希望国际社会携起手来，秉持人类命运共同体的理念，把我们这个星球建设得更加和平，更加繁荣。
Here is a man. Here is a man.
Really liked him. We had a great chemistry, I think.
Tiene un gran concepto hacia dónde quiere ir, qué es lo que quiere para China.
Au total, je considère qu'il s'agit aujourd'hui d'un des grands leaders au monde.
St Paul's, Covent Garden in London. It's known as the Actors' Church. A 400-year-old play is being staged here. This is where William Shakespeare meets Tang Xianzu. The exaggerated style of Chinese Kunqiu opera integrates and clashes with the implicit style of Shakespearean drama to produce a creative dialogue between Chinese and Western cultures.
汤显祖和莎士比亚是同一个时代的，中英两国可以共同纪念这两位文学巨匠，以此推动两国人民交流，加强相互的理解。
Languages and literature are a key to mutual understanding. During his visit to the UK, Chinese President Xi Jinping attends the opening ceremony of the annual conference of UK Confucius Institutes and Classrooms in London. British student Cameron Patterson, who would go on to win first place in the Chinese Bridge Chinese Language Proficiency Competition, recites a poem written by Xi himself.
面如胶，追思焦裕禄，魂飞万里盼归来。此水此山此地，百姓谁不爱好官？把泪交同成语，生也沙丘，死也沙丘。父老生死系，暮雪朝霜，无改英雄义气。
他的普通话讲得非常好，比我们来的很多中国人讲的都好。他的朗诵比我朗诵的也好。
我觉得习主席他是非常的幽默，因为他不仅是可以就是打动所有人的心里，让大家都觉得很感动，都想听他说的话，但是他也可以让大家笑起来。他不像一个领导人，他就像一个普通的老百姓，和大家一起接触。
While studying at secondary school in China, Cameron Patterson was told by his teacher to write an essay on Jiao Yu Lu. Patterson was moved by the story of a man who showed such dedication in leading people to combat the local threat from sandstorms, and who eventually died of illness.
一句一句的去理解习主席这首诗词的意思，就是看到他和焦裕禄一心是为了老百姓。觉得习主席在理解这个焦裕禄精神上面，是想把这个焦裕禄精神就是带到现代，然后利用这个焦裕禄精神，也让老百姓过一下这个好日子，也就是我们所说的这个中国梦。
Xi Jinping always identifies with ordinary people and always remains true to his mission.
夙业在公啊，真正是担任这样的职务，就是把人民呢放在最高的位置上，始终牢记呢责任重于泰山。
It's the first time Xi Jinping has faced the press from China and overseas since being elected president of China. In a straightforward manner, he candidly explains who and what his priorities are, From his responses, the world learns about some of the new Chinese president's hobbies.
我最大的爱好就是读书，读书已经成为自己的一种生活方式，读各类书，我想这是一个终身的爱好。
During his first visit to Russia, in a conversation with a local China expert, President Xi lists a dozen of his favorite Russian writers. He recalls that the one who made the biggest impression on him is Nikolai Chernyshevsky.
或者一些其他的人格，我记得受影响很深的还有车尔尼夫斯基的《怎么办》，因为那时候我在重庆插队，看到里面那个革命家苦行僧式的生活睡钉板我他妈在这里也要学这一套，下雨天呢就出去淋雨，冬天到雪地里去摸爬滚打。
During a ceremony in Moscow marking the 70th anniversary of victory in the Second World War, Xi Jinping presents medals to a number of Russian war veterans who supported China's resistance against Japan. One of the veterans takes Xi's hand and kisses it. Xi responds by grasping the veteran's own hands and gazing into his eyes. Sergeyev is 90 years old. As soon as he realizes that the old man has difficulty walking, Xi Jinping goes over to him. The foreign war veterans are far from being the only people Xi Jinping remembers. There are others, friends he himself made many years ago. In 2001, the Premier of Tasmania in Australia, Jim Bacon, invited him to visit his state. 13 years later, in 2014, Xi finally keeps his promise. Sadly, by this time, Bacon has died. But Xi still visits the late Premier's family.
He was very much looking forward to your visit at some stage.
所以我此次来这里我觉得我也是了却了一个心愿对一个友人的心愿。
Xi Jinping and Bacon's family go through some old photographs recalling what happened over a decade ago. A similar warm atmosphere pervades the Diaoyutai State Guest House in Beijing less than 6 months later. Xi Jinping is meeting Eleanor Dvorchak and her family. She stayed at the Dvorchak's home over 30 years ago during a visit to the United States.
当时吃完早餐，你要带着女儿去上班和上学。我们说到门口照一张相。
When we moved to Florida, we lost a lot of our pictures.
No gift was necessary. Just the gift of his time and his friendship was more than we could. Photography is the thing of the day. So.
我们选的也是一些照片做
非常好，30年的友谊，你看这个。
国之交在于民相亲从习主席的身上呢，体现了我们中华民族这种重情义。这一点呢，并不因为他当了国家主席而改变他愿意同世界各国的普通的各界百姓交朋友，并且善于同他们沟通交流。
Xi Jinping, through the intimacy he demonstrates in his exchanges with people from other countries, enables the world to experience the warmth of Chinese diplomacy. His personal charisma also fosters a love of China in countries all around the world. It's August 2014. Zimbabwean President Robert Mugabe, now in his 90s, visits China. Xi Jinping assists him in moving from the review stand. Mugabe was once revered by the West as an exemplary democratic leader in Africa. Later, however, he was isolated and subjected to sanctions after he started recovering territory seized by the former colonial power. Xi Jinping extends to this old friend of China the highest level of hospitality.
习主席呢，有意的呢，来放慢脚步 来等他，这也体现了习主席对穆加贝总统的尊重，对长者的尊重。
During talks, Mugabe recalls his experiences with previous Chinese leaders. The meeting, scheduled to last for half an hour, goes on for more than an hour.
我们习近平主席视线一刻、1分钟都没有离开穆加贝总统，很专注地倾听一个老人、一个老朋友、一个非洲元首级的领袖诉说他的故事。 他的期盼，
中心传统友谊是在我们并肩反帝、反殖反霸的辉煌岁月中凝结而成的，体现出双方共同遵循的独立自主、相互尊重、反对外来干涉等对外关系的基本原则。
From the one-on-one talks to a larger-scale meeting and a welcoming banquet, events originally scheduled to last 2.5 hours. Go on for over 5 hours. According to diplomatic protocol, a protocol officer is supposed to remind the guests when a state banquet is coming to an end.
由于穆加贝总统呢上了年纪了，他吃饭呢也比较慢，习主席呢专门吩咐身边的礼宾官说不要催，让他慢慢吃，我们大家都等他。
A year later, Xi Jinping visits Zimbabwe. President Mugabe is present at the airport with his wife to meet his Chinese guest.
手拉手拉着，我觉得这种信号是清晰的，而且是应该能打动人心的。这个就是正式庆程。
At the end of the visit, Mugabe accompanies Xi Jinping to the airport to see him off. A few days later, at the Johannesburg summit of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation, Xi announces 10 major new China-sponsored cooperation projects in Africa.
We give him a round of applause. A round of applause. Here is a man. Here is a man representing a country once called poor, a country which never was our colonizer. But there you are. He is doing to us what we expected those who colonized us yesterday to do. Let them, if they have ears to hear, let them hear. We will say he's a God-sent person. May God bless China and its people.
Xi Jinping has won many friends across Africa and elsewhere with his sincerity and pragmatism.
当我们南海面临压力，非洲有39个国家政府没有任何犹豫的站起来声援我们。这在非洲国家发展史上，对一个国家的地区问题站起来发表政府声明声援，我看在中非关系史上，在非洲的外交史上也没有的。
Traces of Xi Jinping's friendship diplomacy are found all over the world. This is Chateau Lani outside Prague, the summer residence of the Czech president. In March 2016, for the first time, Czech President Milos Zeman meets a foreign head of state here. It's a sign of the special friendship between him and President Xi Jinping.
Sentimentální dárek, protože jsme četli, že váš otec vám přinesl české boty.
是一个感情上的礼物，因为我们了解到你的父亲给你赠送过捷克的一双鞋。
A tak jsme pro vás připravili 3 páry.
所以我们如果要3双。
当时小的时候能够穿上你们这个鞋啊，感觉到很神气的。这种椅子啊，就是我们明代的这个样式，它是非常线条非常简单明快，还有垫子啊。
Je to krásné křeslo a budu ho rád použít.
From the presidential chateau to a library, President Zeman is always at Xi Jinping's side. They talk the way old friends do. Xi Jinping, through his friendship diplomacy, establishes a close relationship with those he visits. He talks to them like friends in a relaxed atmosphere. His approach has given rise to many stories. In September 2013, during Xi Jinping's visit to Kazakhstan, President Nursultan Nazarbayev breaks with protocol and flies to Almaty on board the Chinese leader's plane. The two presidents had breakfast together during the flight, accompanied by a heart-to-heart talk. Both are genuinely upset at having to say goodbye.
祝你一路平安，谢谢您。你也保重，这两天也好好休息一下。你的理解，我们彼此还要见面。
Even the gifts Xi Jinping gives to foreign leaders reveal his care and consideration.
中国的风俗啊，每个人都有属相，您属于马，所以我们就画了一个骏马，预示着您的事业和国家的事业像千里马一样的奔腾。
President Zuma presents Xi Jinping with a black armchair, a gift reserved only for distinguished guests.
In other words, it shows friendship, that friends sit down and talk about matters.
累的时候就坐在这张椅子上。I can sit in this armchair whenever I feel tired.
Exchanging gifts is part of diplomatic protocol. Giving birthday gifts and wishes brings leaders even closer together. It's April the 7th, 2013, and the Boao Forum for Asia annual conference is opening. The wife of Finnish President Sauli Niinisto has a pleasant surprise. She receives a birthday cake from Xi Jinping and his wife, Pang Liyuan.
Suddenly, a huge cake was brought in and music started, and the heads of the states were singing "Happy Birthday to you." We never forget that. It was a very, very beautiful and nice gesture from presidential couple.
Xi Jinping's friendship diplomacy, with its success in developing China's relations with other countries, is becoming a key element in China's diplomatic activities. It's also helping to improve China's soft power and increase its global influence. The British newspaper The Daily Telegraph coined the term Xi-style diplomacy. With a noted lack of formality, Xi-style diplomacy is open and flexible, and sometimes even surprising. Through it, Xi Jinping projects the image of a statesman who is self-confident, intelligent, and sincere. Costa Rica in Central America at one time was adjudged the world's happiest country. 82-year-old Marco Zamora is the owner of a small coffee plantation. In June 2013, his family welcomed a special guest from far away.
你们好，很高兴来看你。这是我朋友。那什么时候成熟？大概还有多久啊？5 o 6 meses. Noviembre, diciembre. 咖啡的市场价格好不好？
From the living room to the bedrooms and kitchen, Zamora opens his home to the Chinese leader and gives him a detailed account of the life of his family of 12. Afterwards, Xi Jinping and the Zamora family sit together drinking coffee and chatting about everyday life.
来这里呢，就有这么一个期望啊，看一看我们的这个人民的生活， 我呢，这个也是来自于基层，我做了7年的农民，然后做村长、做县长、做市长、做省长，可以说我和普通群众啊，都有着这个很天然的感情。
No solo tener sus títulos, porque yo estaba un poco con vergüenza y de todo, pero cuando él dijo eso, entonces uno le levanta la autoestima. Dice, y ahí no me he equivocado.
Muy difícilmente un presidente se refiere con tanta emoción, con tanto orgullo de ser campesino. Más bien como que lo obvian, algunos presidentes obvian esa parte. Él no, él lo rescata y lo resaltó en ese momento. Para nosotros fue bastante impresionante.
The Chinese leader is widely recognized as a man of the people. He is praised for his pragmatic approach in creating the Chinese dream.
We 要有很多的时间到中国的农村、工厂去和普通的群众见面，去了解他们的喜怒哀乐、冷暖安危。但是我们现在还有很多的贫困人口，所以我们下一步还要集中力量，把中国的贫困这些人口的问题解决一下。这可能是以后我也很重要的一个任务。
Yo creo que es como el ideal que uno espera de un gobierno. Y casualmente cuando uno ve el interés de un presidente que he visto a través de las noticias, que no es un presidente que solo está en casa presidencial, es un presidente que se mueve tanto a la industria, visita escuelas, visita el campo, se está moviendo. Hay un interés, una calidad humana donde él definitivamente está cada día reflejando la importancia de cómo disminuir eso.
Such subtle gestures give people the impression that Xi Jinping and Peng Liyuan are an ordinary couple living next door. Throughout the visit, Zamora's 5-year-old granddaughter Mariana stays glued to Peng Liyuan. When she's leaving, Peng Liyuan gives the little girl a toy panda.
Que si quería hacer algo y era muy dulce conmigo. Entonces sí la sentí como una primera mamá.
Every night for the past 4 years, Mariana has slept with the toy panda covered with her quilt.
Me encanta porque algunas veces cuando no me puedo dormir, entonces lo agarro y ya me duermo.
The Nation, the leading newspaper in Costa Rica, reported the story of Peng Liyuan and the girl under the headline, "The First Lady Lights Up Faces with a Panda." President Xi's wife, with her gentle kindness, brings another aspect to China's soft power. Peng Liyuan is a World Health Organization Goodwill Ambassador for tuberculosis and HIV/AIDS. In September 2015, while accompanying her husband on a visit to the United States, she relates the story of a Chinese AIDS orphan, Gao Juan. Both in China and overseas, she always demonstrates her love for children. In Congo, Peng Liyuan takes a thin AIDS orphan into her arms. As a mother and as a Goodwill Ambassador, Peng Liyuan imparts her warmth and strength to children all over the world. In this way, she enhances China's image as a sophisticated, affectionate, and inclusive major country. When a foreign visit comes to an end, Xi Jinping always acknowledges the staff at the airport. The officers and soldiers are moved by his heartfelt expression of thanks.
子瑜先生，我们基地的所有的官兵将您评选为到过巴西空军基地的最和蔼可亲的国家元首。
这个正式送别的官员告别之后，一定会抽出时间，专门转身对着所有他这种贴身的警卫去对他们表示感谢。这个是常态，每一次访问都会有这样的场景。实际上，对于身边的这些中方的工作人员，这个习主席也是这个特别的这个照顾。 那么比如说我们做翻译嘛，坐在身后的是没有办法吃饭。那么无论是习主席或者是彭教授，有的时候直接就会把他们桌上的面包，或者是这个甜点，直接就拿盘子就给我们，包括把他们桌前的水或者是咖啡直接就递给我们，说你们先垫一点。
Xi Jinping is acclaimed by the global media for his intimacy with ordinary people. His selfie with Sergio Aguero at the English Premier League football club Manchester City received numerous likes online. People compare Xi Jinping to an elderly neighbour who is approachable, uncomplicated, and amiable. It's February 2014, Chinese New Year. While people at home are enjoying a family reunion, Xi Jinping travels to the opening ceremony of the Winter Olympics in Sochi, Russia. In an interview with the Russian media, he gives another example of his spontaneous diplomacy.
我这个对于这个像足球、篮球、排球、网球都很喜欢。作为国家领导人呢，我们已经以身许国啊，工作肯定是一种超负荷的一种状态。 但是呢，也要注意一张一弛，劳逸结合啊。这个，比如我本人呢，现在就是还是抽出时间来啊，来游泳，一天1000米，这个我和普京总统，包括和美国的奥巴马总统，我都说起来体会，共同的体会，磨刀不误砍柴工啊，不花一点时间来进行体育运动啊，那我们到时候会崩溃啊。他们也都是，很会心的一笑。
In Russia, Xi Jinping acts as China's image ambassador for its bid to host the Winter Olympics in 2022. He makes International Olympic Committee President Thomas Bach aware of how keen China is to host the Games.
我想，可以引起他重视的，可以打动他的是我的一个观点。我说叫做这个冰雪运动不出山海关呢，啊，我说这个关外也就是1亿人吧。 如果能够把这个项目啊，在关内推广，啊，比如说在北京张家口举办，我说这恐怕就会带动起啊2、3亿人。
It's August 15th, 2014. Xi Jinping is travelling to Nanjing to attend the opening ceremony of the Summer Youth Olympic Games. From the airport, he drives straight to the training venues to visit China's young athletes.
焦海龙，焦海龙，焦海龙来自山东扬州56。对了，那边。
我那个年轻人练过拳击。
哦。
但是呢，这个我看他那个勾拳啊还是比较好。咱们国家的运动员用勾拳不多。
对。
你看那欧洲运动员的勾拳呢还很有威胁，是吧？直拳、摆拳这还可以。 通过这个活动，展示我们中国青少年的风采，看看这中国孩子什么样。再就是呢，通过这个活动啊，让这个我们的青少年和世界的青少年有个交流的机会。
It's Xi Jinping's hope that the country's athletes, through their meetings on the competitive international stage, can become unofficial diplomats.
交一些好朋友，对你们来讲也是开阔眼界啊，了解世界之大。中国为什么会进步？中国就是海纳百川呐，我们是一个开放的心态开放的去迎接世界然后积其大成这就是中国 办各种活动应有之义。
In the international arena, Xi Jinping is sometimes referred to as Mr. Football. During his overseas visits, he's often presented with football shirts bearing his name. In the United States, students of Lincoln High School prepare a custom #1 Lincoln Abe's shirt for him. In Argentina, he receives the shirts of the national football team and the local team Boca Juniors.
足球爱好者，但是我现在呢，这个对中国的足球啊，是有一种紧迫感，它也不是可以一蹴而就的事情。关键是要找出一些符合中国国情的足球发展公司，培养好下一代，从娃娃抓起。
Now, more and more Chinese children are undergoing football training overseas. During his visits, Xi Jinping tries to make time to visit them. In Germany, Jin Qiaoqiao from the Zhedan County children's football team in Shanxi province presents her team pennant to Xi Jinping. She asks the president which Chinese football team he thinks is the best.
这个我就不好说了。看好你们，我看好你们这一代将来的话，能够成为这个出色的足球运动员，最好在你们这儿出现球星，出现国际球星，这是我的愿望，寄希望于你们。
见他的时候，我就是特别不敢相信，我感觉他应该是那种高高在上的感觉，应该特别严肃。 特别严厉那种，但是见到他之后，跟他交流完，我就感觉特别是那种特别慈祥和蔼的人，就像家里边爸爸那样的人，就是对你就是反正就特别亲那种感觉。
In June 2017, in a meeting with FIFA President Gianni Infantino in Beijing, Xi Jinping expounds on his understanding of football culture. He says that the spirit of football is meant not only to encourage competition, but more importantly, to improve people's health and foster patriotism, teamwork, and hard work. He says he hopes the enthusiasm for football will become positive energy propelling the nation's people to realize the Chinese dream. In January 2017, in a meeting with International Olympic Committee President Thomas Bach in Lausanne, Switzerland, Xi reiterates the importance to China of successfully hosting the 2022 Winter Olympics.
我们的全民健身计划就是国民幸福计划。我们还希望中国人活得更长一些，并且健康的活着，所以我们现在有一个全民健康计划。 这和我们的合作都是密切相关的，而这个又和我们2020的全面小康目标是不符合的。
We admire very much in the IOC the great program President Xi Jinping initiated with regard to making sport an important part of the life of the Chinese people, and in particular in education.
Bueno, sin duda que el presidente de la potencia, de una de las potencias más importantes del planeta, tenga esa sensibilidad por el deporte, por su promoción, por su difusión, por su toma de conciencia, facilita el entendimiento de las naciones.
The foreign media have described Xi Jinping's football diplomacy as a novel approach to promoting international relations. It's an outstanding leader who not only focuses on the present, but also sees far into the future. Xi Jinping has on numerous occasions, by expounding on China's cultural achievements, paved the way for improved mutual understanding between China and other countries.
中国需要和平，就像人需要空气一样，就像万物生长需要阳光一样。睦邻友邦，天下大同，这样的理念世代相传。中美友好
根基在民众，希望在青年。
Its young people are the future of a country and the hope of the world. In September 2015, Xi Jinping visits Lincoln High School, a public school in Tacoma.
I would love to explore the old and new parts of China, including Shanghai, China.
要看1000年的中国去西安，看500年的中国去北京，看100年的中国去上海。但是每一个城市，哪怕是1000年的、100年的、几十年的，都有现代的一面。你们会在中国看到一个绚丽多彩的这样的一种社会图景。
One of them being China for the culture and the people and the cities. Wanting to go there so bad.
中国人的话呢，是非常好客的，像对待你一样，对待所有外来的都好。
To foster a better understanding of China, Xi Jinping presents the school with 3 collections of Tang and Song Dynasty poetry, as well as some table tennis equipment.
这个乒乓球虽然小，比这个橄榄球要小得多了但是它对中美关系的意义是重大的当时叫做小球带动大球转，这个大球指的是地球因为当时的中美关系从此得到了进入了一个新的阶段这个重新交往的大门由小球给撞开了，所以我也希望呢，我们两国的青少年通过传承这样的一种乒乓外交的精神，加强交流，增进友谊欢迎大家呢去中国走一走、看一看体验和感知中国。在此呢，我愿邀请林肯中学100名学生明年到中国去做客。
And so, 118 teachers and students from Lincoln High visit Fuzhou, Chengdu and other parts of China. For 25 of the students, who come from low-income families, this is the first time they've ever been on a plane. On hearing that the students would like to see him in Beijing, Xi Jinping, who's on an overseas visit, writes them a letter. In it, he says, "I hope you will tell your fellow Americans about what you see and hear in China and what you think of it, so that they will have a better understanding of China." At Xi Jinping's suggestion, a number of activities have been held worldwide to promote cultural exchanges. They include the China-Egypt and China-Latin America Years of Cultural Exchange. In November 2016, during an APEC meeting in Lima, Peru, Xi Jinping attends the closing ceremony of the China-Latin America Year of Culture. He also visits a Treasures from China exhibition.
直到现在，它的屏幕还没有发掘，还保持在我的祖先还比较魁梧
Él personalmente les dio un tour de la exhibición de los tesoros de la civilización china, ¿no? Demostrando un conocimiento muy profundo de su propia cultura, lo cual también a los que estamos dedicados a los museos nos causó una gratísima impresión.
海明威的《老人与海》对狂风暴雨、巨浪小船、老人鲨鱼的描写给我留下了深刻的印象。我第一次去古巴，就专程到海明威当年写《老人与海》的栈桥边去体会。
During his overseas visits, Xi Jinping often talks about books he has read. In this way, he demonstrates how cultivated he is, and also he establishes a bond with the local people. The Xi Jinping Era, a book published in the United States, points out that he often uses elegant and refined quotations from the ancient classics to communicate his ideas.
贵国诗人阿方索·雷耶斯也曾说过：“唯有一天下，方可绘本国。”
In Switzerland, he presents the World Health Organization with a bronze statue highlighting the acupuncture points on the human body.
Je pense que c'est un leader mondial reconnu partout dans le monde. La stabilité chinoise lui permet de faire de multiples voyages, de rencontrer de multiples dirigeants et donc d'être cet ambassadeur du multilatéralisme pour la paix.
这个老城这有1000年的历史了，1000多年前。这里它也是一个国都。这是这个中国的爱情之都，中国版的《罗密欧与朱丽叶》是诞生在这里，梁山伯与祝英台。
During the G20 summit in Hangzhou, Xi Jinping explains the principles of Chinese culture to the world leaders. China, as a champion of harmony and unity, is today bringing these values to the center of the international stage.
国之交在于民相亲，人民直接交往是加深国与国友谊最有效的方式，加强文明对话和文化交流，不仅各美其美，而且美人之美，美美与共。
Over the past 5 years, Xi Jinping has traveled many thousands of miles. Wherever he has visited, he has stayed true to his mission and honored his promises. He has stood by the principle that all nations should live together in harmony, shown his benevolence in putting people first, and listened to other countries' concerns. He has retained his confidence in working towards the goal of universal brotherhood. In all this, he has demonstrated his own personal charisma and established the fundamental style and approach of China's major country diplomacy. China's major country diplomacy is designed to create relations with other countries based on win-win cooperation. Today, China's circle of friends covers the entire globe. China's major country diplomacy has been at the forefront of the APEC China 2014 summit, the G20 2016 Hangzhou summit, and the Belt and Road Forum for International Cooperation. China's major country diplomacy is safeguarding China's interests, promoting people's well-being, and working for peace and justice. Under China's major country diplomacy, the Belt and Road Initiative is leading the way for the country's opening. The Belt and Road link China with the world and serve as a bridge to the future. President Xi Jinping conducts a wide array of diplomatic activities. Standing at the forefront of the times, he's creating a fresh vision of the future. His far-sighted thinking and strategies underpin China's approach to dealing with the changes in the world and are being embraced by it. China's new practices and initiatives have won widespread support, and they've drawn countries together in the pursuit of peace and development. Under the leadership of the CPC Central Committee with Xi Jinping as the core, China is standing at the center of the world stage. Never before have the Chinese dream and the dreams of the world been so closely aligned. On its path to great national rejuvenation, China will work with the rest of the world to promote peace and development and create a community of shared future for mankind.